So, I made a huge beginner mistake when I reviewed the CrinEar Meta IEM. I knew it would probably sell out very quickly at launch, and I wanted to have my video ready for the official launch date, but unfortunately I was sick, and I still reviewed it anyway. This led to me making some comments about how they sound, which I don't agree with now that I'm better and my hearing is back to normal. My original review video, I mentioned that it sounded quite glaring to my ear, like there was too much ear gain almost at 3K, and my impression of them wasn't the greatest. Well, here I am now to do it right. It does seem a bit redundant since they sold out within an hour of being live, and you can't really get them anymore, but I still would like to see more IEMs go this direction in terms of tuning. So just for a quick recap, the CrinEar Meta is a brand new IEM from Crinical's IEM brand, sold exclusively through the Hangout Audio website for $240. It was limited to only 500 units, although from the positive feedback, it'll be increased to 999 units for a second production run. In the box, we get 3 sizes of silicone tips, 3 sizes of foam tips, and a copper cable with an end that can swap between 3.5mm TRS and 4.4mm balanced. And then we also get quite a substantial hard case. This case is made out of plastic, and it's sealed with a gasket so it's fully waterproof. On the inside it has a foam lining for the IEMs to sit on, and on the top part of the lid there's a zip-up pouch to hold your accessories. The IEMs themselves are made of anodized aluminum, making them feel very sturdy but also very light when you wear them in your ear. I really do like the design choice of the mostly matte black finish with some copper accents. The nozzle is 5.7mm, and the shells are formed to fit your ear a bit more snug. So regarding the sound, I do quite like them now that I can hear properly again. But first, we still have to deal with the issue of the tips. The included tips just don't work well for me. I'm not a fan of foam tips, and I don't really like how those fit in my ear. And foam tips tend to also make IEMs not seat as deeply in my ear as I'd like them to. So I usually stick to silicone tips. But the problem is the silicone tips that are included with this just don't fit my ear well either. Even though the nozzle of the IEM is 5.7mm, the core of the tips that goes around the nozzle seems to add a lot to the size. They don't sit as deep as I'd like them to. So with the stock tips, the Meta still feels like it has too much treble for me to fully enjoy. Not quite to the extent as before where I would prefer not to use them, but it definitely still adds a bit too much to the treble and adds almost a metallic sort of edge to the way things sound. But when I switch to SpinFit CP100 tips, all those issues go away from me. The tips allow the IEM to sit deeper in my ear, which helps to reduce the extra treble, and also adds a lot to their comfort, and I just end up really enjoying the IEMs with these tips. Now obviously given the name of the IEMs, it's going for the Meta style tuning, although with some adjustments, I have slightly more sub bass and treble, and it all comes together to give a nice U-shaped sort of a sound. Compared to something like the Moondrop Dusk, I'd prefer the Meta. They both have a very similar sort of mid presentation, which feels like it has full body behind it, but the bass feels better defined on the Meta compared to the Dusk, giving an impression that it has better attack. As well, with the different tips, I end up preferring the treble on the Meta a lot over the Dusk, whereas with the Dusk it just was too bright and sharp for me in my opinion. Now again, this video is kind of redundant since they sold out already, but I'm quite happy with how they are tuned, and I would like to see more IEMs go this tuning route. There are still some areas that can be refined or adjusted to better suit preferences. For me personally, I would still probably like it to be a little bit darker, but it's still well within the realm of enjoyment for me, and I think those who did order these will really enjoy them once they receive theirs.